They're saying it's over.
Yeah.
Do you believe them?
Well, I think it's over, but I think that Russell Westbrook, who I think is an incredibly talented player and a good person, needs to be more accurate with his quotes. The fact of the matter is that you had a spillover that took place in front of thousands upon thousands of people in a nationally televised game. And if people don't have the whole story, maybe they would have had you stayed after the game and manned up and did an interview.
Very good point.
Instead of running at home or so, or whatever the case may be.
Memphis,
and these are the kind of things that you simply cannot do, and you've got to call people on the carpet for that. You have an obligation to talk. Nobody's asking you about your personal life, you know, you and your wife or girlfriend or whatever the case may be. You playing the game of basketball. After the game, we're asking you about basketball. What is your problem? So any misnomer in regards to that is due in large part to him. But to say that it's going to drag on and it's something that's going to fester, I would definitely say no, that's not the case. Because I think that, number one, I keep emphasizing, I do think that Russell Westbrook is a good guy. He is not somebody that looks to be a malcontent. He is not somebody that is a cancer in the locker room or anything of that nature. But more importantly than that, the character of Kevin Durant would not allow something like that to fester. It's not that important. He wants the ball, as you say.
Yeah.
He always wants the ball. And it's not going to be one of those situations. If anything gets in the way of him balling, Russell Westbrook would be gone before they allow that to happen. The fact that he's still around and that Kevin Durant swears by him the way that he does tells me that everything is fine, because not just because I think Russell Westbrook is a good guy. I know that Kevin Durant is a character individual that wouldn't allow it to happen that way.
That's a fair point. But I must say, this young Oklahoma City organization has gotten very good very quickly at spin control, at damage control. And they tried to
Presti just always has been good.
Dismiss all this as if, come on, nothing, this is no big deal. This is a big deal. This is not going to go away. This is going to be a problem for this organization going forward. And they know it, and I think we all know it.
I don't.
Okay, but look, here's the bottom line to this. This kid, he might be a good kid. I don't disagree with that. But he's got a big ego because he wants to be a superstar in this league, and he has explosive two-guard ability. He's not a point guard. They're asking him to play a role he is not comfortable with because he doesn't have the skill and the will to be a point guard. It's not who he is or wants to be. So you got square peg and round hole. And it's a tribute to Kevin Durant that he has managed the situation the best he can. And I don't doubt that he can make it through this year, and it'll fester and rear its ugly head when you least expect it in the playoffs.
The point that you're missing, and it's very, very important to make this point, is that you're not realizing what you're saying and the impact of what you're saying. Russell Westbrook is a two-guard playing point guard. There is no doubt about that. But it's precisely because of that that's why there won't be a problem. If he was a point guard, if he were Chris Paul, and they were having these kind of problems, it would be entirely different. But they know they're asking him to play out of position. He knows that he loves to score just as much as he wants to get other people involved, if not more. So why is he playing that position? He's playing that position because they don't necessarily have anybody else that can do what he can do from that position. If they had somebody else to do it, then it would be different. Then all of your stuff about egos and how it's pride and he wants to be X, Y, Z, that would factor into the equation. But if I know that I'm a scoring machine, that I can score at will, that I can average 25 a night, they come to me and they say to me, we need you to play point because we don't have anybody else here that can do what you can do from that position. I've got my superstar, Kevin Durant, who is mindful and sensitive to that. I've got Harden, who is mindful and sensitive to that. All the big boys on the front line who ain't looking for the ball, whether it's Ibaka, whether it's Perkins or anybody else, they're all sensitive to that and they're cool with it. Then there's a level of patience as an organization that I could give to Russell Westbrook at that position, which means that the problem isn't nearly as big as you think it is because we all have that understanding.
Okay, I like them better when I see Eric Maynor running the point because he's a pure point. And I'm not saying he's great at what he does, but he's pretty good. And they made a nice run last night to get back in that game with Eric Maynor. And there was a big playoff game at Dallas, you recall, when he benched, Brooks benched Westbrook to put Eric Maynor in, and they made a nice run. J.A. Adonde wrote yesterday on ESPN.com, got to get rid of him. Got to make a move almost by addition by subtraction, and proposed a bunch of trades. Steph Curry, which you could argue, yeah, Golden State would love to get Russell Westbrook for Steph Curry, but just to clear the decks, to get it where you would have somebody who could not want to shoot the ball, who's distributing the ball. And in the biggest picture here, that I have no idea if they tried to do this. There's been some speculation in the offseason they at least explored the possibility of trading Russell Westbrook for Chris Paul or for Darren Williams. And the bottom line is those guys probably won't commit to Oklahoma City long term to sign a guaranteed long-term deal with them. You see what I mean?
I respect J.A. Adonde. I respect you. I respect you guys. But there is no way I am agreeing with that whatsoever. Russell Westbrook is a big-time athlete and a big-time talent, and you're going to have to make sure I get somebody big-time for years to come if I'm going to lose him.